Hi guys, it's Allie with Chaos Monkey, and I am showing my finish for the Mary Maxim Crochet Club. And this one was for March, and it was done, this was the pattern. I did not follow this pattern, but the yarn was in Premier Coffee Shop in the color Sundown, and it took 3 balls, but I only used 2, and I think I had a little bit left over, so 2 and some scraps and a full ball left in the shawl that I made. This one was 3 balls for this shawl, but when I was working with it, the 3 balls was just going to be way too large. I like a good size shawl, but I don't want like it to be like super big. So I did like using the yarn. The yarn was pretty nice to use. Let me see if I can find maybe the last ball. Okay, so here we go. So I kept it in the plastic. So I have 1 ball and then this much left from the second ball. So I almost did 2 full balls in the shawl that I made. So that means I have enough left over for a cowl or something smaller, a couple of hats, whatever I want to do with it later. This yarn is incredibly soft. And like I said, it was pretty good to work with. I didn't have any issues. There was no splitting or anything. And then here's the finished shawl, which I will show on the mannequin because I know it's hard to see from here. And for those of you that don't know, I get some questions about the club. I do put a link down in the description below so you can click the link and learn about the Mary Maxim Club. There is a crochet one and a knit one regarding yarn. They have other types of clubs. But it is once a month, and you do get the yarn and the pattern. So just, if you want more information, just click that link below. But as you can see, this is the center of the shawl. It's a really good size. And then here's the end. Sorry about my lighting, you guys, if it's not the greatest. And then here is what it looks like on the bottom edge with this pattern that I followed. Now, I don't know if maybe my brain just wasn't working that day, but I just did not enjoy the pattern. I think I tried it a couple times and I just did not enjoy it. So you can see it's very similar to the pattern I picked out, but I actually used the South Bay shawlette. I even put a note here that it's really repetitive. So if you like a really repetitive pattern, I even put this is very mindless and a little boring. And then the hook size I think I used a K hook, and this is a free pattern on Lion Brand, so it's okay if I show it to you. Yeah, I used the entire mandala. I don't even know what I wrote down there, but anyway, this is the pattern I used. So if you go to lionbrand.com, I'll try to link that down below as well. That's the pattern that I preferred to use, and it just has a nice scalloped edge at the bottom, and like I said, it's very repetitive, it's very mindless, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want a complicated pattern because this yarn is so busy. So it is a very color changing, busy, what do we want to call this? I have a name for it in my head, marled yarn, where you have a lighter color wrapped around a darker color, and then it's color changing, so I didn't want to take away from that, and I didn't want to do a ton of work on a pattern that you weren't going to see. So I just picked a mindless, boring pattern, a shawl pattern I'd already made, and just went to town on it, and it's just really nice. Like I said, no problems with the yarn, really easy to use, very, very soft. This has been washed and blocked, so it got even softer, a little bit softer after it was washed and blocked. So like I said, I will go ahead and show it to you on the mannequin. I will take the camera and just kind of show you from all the angles that I can so you can see the full size. I haven't actually measured this, but it's pretty good sized. If I was going to say anything, it was probably the same size as this on this model, and only 2 balls. If you want to do the same pattern and save yourself from some yarn to do something else with, you're still going to have a really nice sized shawl. Okay, you guys, so I just wanted to show you that and get caught up on some of my Mary Maxims. The only one I didn't really make was January's. I tried to make January's and kind of put it away, and then I had some other stuff. So I honestly don't know if I'm going to do the January pattern. I might just put the yarn away and stash and use it for something else. Or the 2 patterns, because if you can watch my January Mary Maxim unboxing if you haven't seen it. But we got a lot of really nice red heart yarn and 2 shawl patterns. And I'm just not really feeling the patterns right now. So I might just put it away until I feel it, or just put the yarn away and use them for something else. Haven't decided yet, but I did make the March, and I did make the, I believe it was the February's, which I will show you in a separate video. It's just easier to keep the videos separate and to keep them fairly short so you can see the finishes. Alright, you guys. Okay guys, here's the shawl on a mannequin. Excuse the bad lighting. I can't move it away from the window, and it's kind of weird in direct light. So, but here's a close-up so you can see the colors. But it is pretty darn large, so you can see my mannequin is she's pretty tall, but skinny. So that shawl is really long. I did measure it. I'm still not getting any good. Here we go. I'll try from this side. Here you go, and you can see the ends here. Again, sorry about the weird lighting, but anyways, you can see how long it is and how it would wrap around completely. I did measure it. It's about 26.5 inches long from here to the top. Oops, sorry. Don't make anybody nauseous. To the very tippy tip. So without pulling it, just kind of laying it flat without pulling it, it's about 26.5. And across, it's like 54 to 55 inches across. So that's how long the wingspan is. So you can see with 2 balls, I got quite a bit of shawl. So I figured 3 balls, you know, every ball isn't going to go as far because it has more distance to travel. So you know each time you add a ball, you're not going to get the same amount of, it's not proportional. But I still figured that last ball was going to add at least probably like that much more. Maybe even before the border. So I just decided it was plenty and I could save a ball for something else. Man, that lighting is bad. I'm totally facing the light instead of having it to my back like I should. And if I lighten it up, it just kind of blows it out. But so yeah, so I just kind of wanted to show you in proportion. I'll try to put some pictures in because it will show better in the picture most likely than trying to video in this lighting. But yeah, so this pattern I used is super easy, super repetitive, very, very pretty and lacy. So I would suggest using the pattern I used if you aren't really enjoying the pattern that was included. Alright you guys, I'll talk to you later.